Aaron Rodgers just shocked the NFL, and this is not hype. At 42 years old, he still has not made a final decision about his future, and that single choice is now putting pressure on multiple teams at once. With the draft getting closer, front offices are stuck, waiting, guessing, and preparing for two completely different realities. And that is where things start to get serious. Right now, the biggest story is not a game, not a trade, not even the draft itself. It is one man, Aaron Rodgers. His silence is creating chaos behind the scenes, and teams are quietly adjusting their entire plans around him. And here is the part most people are missing. This is not just about where Rodgers plays. It is about how every other quarterback move changes because of him. Think about it. If Rodgers decides to return, one team instantly locks their starting quarterback position. That means backup options disappear. That means younger quarterbacks lose chances. That means teams who are waiting for movement suddenly get stuck. But if he walks away, everything flips. That is the cliffhanger every team is staring at right now. And that brings us to a team watching very closely, the Pittsburgh Steelers. They are not waiting on Rodgers directly, but they are watching what his decision does to the rest of the league, because their next move depends on how the quarterback market shifts. This is where things get interesting. The Steelers are already in a delicate spot. They need stability at quarterback, but they also need a long-term plan. Those two things do not always match. If Rodgers stays in the league, it limits options. If he leaves, it opens doors. So now, every move they make comes with risk. Do they wait and see what happens, or do they act now before the board changes? That is the tension building inside that building. Players are feeling it too. Jaylen Warren was recently asked about the situation, and his answer was simple. Whatever happens, happens. That sounds calm, but it tells you something deeper. Players know when something big is coming, and right now, everyone knows something is about to shift. Here is why this matters more than people think. The NFL draft is not just about talent. It is about timing. Teams build their entire strategy based on what they expect to happen. If that expectation is wrong, everything falls apart. Now, imagine planning your draft without knowing if one of the biggest quarterbacks in history is coming back. That is the situation right now. And this is where Rodgers has shocked the NFL the most. Not with a decision, but with no decision. That uncertainty is more powerful than any announcement. It forces teams to prepare for two opposite outcomes at the same time, and that is not easy to manage. If Rodgers returns, he likely steps into a starting role right away. That removes one major landing spot from the quarterback market. Now, teams that were hoping for a veteran fallback option suddenly lose that safety net. That forces them into the draft earlier than planned and more aggressive than planned. Once one team reaches for a quarterback, others follow, and that is how draft boards get destroyed. Now flip it. If Rodgers retires, that creates a gap. A team that expected stability now has a hole at quarterback. That team will either look to the draft or go after another veteran. That creates a chain reaction. Quarterbacks start moving, teams start calling, trades start happening, and suddenly the entire league is in motion. This is why this situation is bigger than just Rodgers. This is about control. And right now, he has it. Aaron Rodgers shocked the NFL not because of what he did, but because of what he has not done. Now bring it back to the Steelers. They are in a position where they cannot afford to guess wrong. If they wait too long and Rodgers returns, they could miss out on key draft targets. If they move too early and Rodgers retires, they might lose a better opportunity. This is the kind of decision that defines seasons, and sometimes entire eras. Multiple teams are quietly watching this situation. Some are holding back offers, some are delaying decisions, some are preparing for both outcomes at the same time. That is how serious this is. Rodgers is not just any player. He is a future Hall of Fame quarterback, and his decisions carry weight across the entire league. When a player like that waits, it forces everyone else to wait, and time is running out. The draft is getting closer, teams need answers, and front offices need clarity, but they are not getting it. Every day without a decision makes planning harder, increases risk, and raises the stakes. The Steelers are known for staying calm, but even stable teams feel pressure when the situation is unclear. They have to decide how aggressive they want to be. Do they trade up in the draft, stay patient, or trust what they already have? Every option has consequences, and Rodgers' decision could make one of those choices look very smart or very risky. Young quarterbacks are also watching this closely. They are waiting for opportunities, waiting for teams to take chances on them. If Rodgers returns, some of those chances disappear. Rosters get tighter and competition gets tougher. But if he retires, more doors open, and more teams start looking for new options. Agents, coaches, and scouts are all adjusting their plans. Everything connects back to this one decision. And while teams are preparing, Rodgers is taking his time. For him, this is not just about football. It is about legacy, timing, and knowing when to step away. That is not an easy decision. But while he is thinking, the rest of the league is reacting. And right now, the balance is in his favor. He controls the timeline, and that is rare in the NFL. There has been no press conference, no big announcement, just silence. But that silence is louder than anything else happening right now. Aaron Rodgers shocked the NFL not with a move, not with a trade, but with uncertainty. And that uncertainty is forcing teams like the Pittsburgh Steelers to make tough decisions without full information. That is where mistakes happen, where surprises happen, and where seasons can change before they even begin. Now, the final question remains. What happens next? Does Rodgers return and lock in one of the biggest positions in football, or does he walk away and trigger a chain reaction across the entire league? No one knows yet, and that is why this story is not over. The moment he decides, everything changes. Draft boards will shift, phones will ring, deals will happen, and teams like the Steelers will either look prepared or caught off guard. That is how big this moment is. One decision, one player, one shock to the entire league. Aaron Rodgers has already changed the NFL. Now the only thing left is to see how far that shock really goes.